I know I'm often told that I'm a great mother and that people love the relationship I have with Zaya. Some may not know this, but I do not give Zaya spankings or beatings. I don't have any plans on starting, and last night I was given even more confirmation that this is not only the best choice for me, but it is also important to Zaya's spiritual development. Well, without going into too much detail, let me share what happened last night. I got on the phone with someone with the intentions of telling them how I do not like the circumstances surrounding our friendship. So essentially, I was ready to go off, which would have most likely resulted in ending the friendship. When the person called me, Zaya ran from another room and asked, "Is that insert the person's name?" I told her, "Yes, it is." And from that moment up until the last second of the phone call, Zaya was in rare form. It became clear to both the person and I that Zaya did not want me to do what I had planned to do or say. During the over 2 hour conversation, which could have easily been over in 5 minutes if I had said what I had thought about saying, so many things happened. Throughout these hours, Zaya decided to talk to my friend, which resulted in transforming the conversation from getting potentially ugly to filled with laughter and lightheartedness. Zaya said a lot of things, some very straightforward and some symbolic. She even had the entire nerve, to tell this person that she would talk to them tomorrow in the morning. Yes, in the morning. All I could do was laugh. And, you know us. And somehow conjure up a few tough woman words. Oh, so y'all gonna talk tomorrow, huh? Zaya says, "Yes, in the morning." I didn't ask her why. She says, "Because this is her," insert the person's name. Y'all, I can't make this up. Like, I really can't make this up. Um, I don't have to give you the whole story for you, for me to share the takeaway points. Our children are connected to spirit and are smarter than we sometimes want to realize or give them credit for. The messages I received from her last night were loud and clear. I'm glad that I am not the mother who silences my daughter when she has information from spirit and or the ancestors to share with me and those I care about. Her verbal messages could have easily been undelivered if I used that one line that you probably heard growing up: "Stay out of grown folks' business." When we silence children who have messages from spirit, we miss out on a lot. Letting your child know that they are in a safe place to share these messages is important and can prevent you from doing something you might regret. Children be speaking the truth, and I'm here for it. All here for it. Let them talk. You sit down and listen to them. They are closer to the spirit world. Remember, they recently left there. This also ties into why this is confirmation that some parents beat children's spiritual connection and message delivery out of them. I hope you caught that. Some people beat this out of them. While we were trying to have a serious conversation, Zaya was loud and acting completely different from normal. She started laughing and saying things that would get us to laugh. She completely changed the whole trajectory of the conversation. I could have been one of those mothers that would have beat her, or at the least threatened to beat her. But her actions were like a hidden language. And I also heard that loud and clear. If she had lived in fear of getting a spanking, I would not have received what I needed to see and hear last night. And neither would this friend. I know some people will not read or even agree with what I have to say. However, I know and see this from the perspective of a spiritual woman. Our children can provide some messages that can't come from any other source or sources. The next time your child acts up and is in rare form, then maybe you should listen. It is time to ask yourself some questions if your first thoughts are to stop them. So you can get on and say what you need to say, put people in their place, or, put yourself in a different type of mode or a different type of feeling. It might be time for you to just listen to what they have to say. And maybe also it's time to ask yourself some questions. What are you about to do or just did on the days in which your child is in rare form? Are you about to be in rare form or need to be distracted from doing something that isn't in the best interest of you, your child, and or all the people involved? Women in particular, check the calendar. What part of your cycle are you in? When your child is in rare form, are you ovulating? On your period? Right before or right after your period? Being in tune with our body and having an understanding of our spiritual gifts is important. Remembering or understanding that children are an extension of our spiritual gifts is something that we need to start following. We need to treat our children as if we know they're extensions of our spiritual gifts. And that's the message that I received last night. There was so much that happened. There's so much that I could sit to decipher. But those are the takeaway messages that I have when it comes down to the parenting side. When you are a spiritual person who's also a parent, or if you're not really deeply spiritual, there still may be messages that can be received from your children and their actions and the things that they're saying, or the things they don't say. So I just wanted to drop that and let that be something for people to marinate on and to think about. Like I said, there will be some people who will disagree, and I'm okay with that. We're not all here to be on the same path, and we're not all here to do things in the same way. And some of us look at life much differently and look at parenting differently. Some styles have much more patience. Other styles is about complete control. And whatever it is that you feel led to do is what you feel led to do. However, I did wanted to bring my perspective forward and let it be known that sometimes we need to listen.